Good evening, everyone. My name is Lonnette McPherson, and this is my presentation of my genogram. I'm going to first start by showing you some of the list of symbols that I have for my family's biological and physiological, mental issues. We have a history of high blood pressure in my family, anxiety disorder, diabetes, heart disease, vitamin D deficiency, hyperactive thyroid, Parkinson's disease, alcoholism, substance abuse, ADHD. We have some undiagnosed mental health in my family, schizophrenia. We have some car accidents. And these are the symbols that I use for male and female, and deceased, any male or female symbol with an X on it, that person is deceased, and that is the symbol for obesity, symbol for who may be a smoker in my family, who may have cancer, pregnancy, and miscarriages. So I'm going to start over here with myself. Lonnette G. McPherson, born 1931. I'm sorry, 1930, 1981. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. And if you can see by my symbol, that's the symbol for female. And obesity, high blood pressure, also vitamin D deficient, as well as hyperactive thyroid. Here my brother, male, he very healthy man. He was born 8/26/78, and he is still living. And my sister, who's the oldest, my brother's in the middle, I'm the youngest, Angela D. McPherson, she's born May 4th, 1974, and she has a history of anxiety disorder, as well as she's had a miscarriage. She's miscarried twins, which also runs in my family, twins. And that's the symbol for female. So then we go over to my dad, Bruce L. McPherson, who's born June 3rd, 1954. He is still living, and my dad also has high blood pressure. He doesn't smoke anymore, but he used to, and he also struggled with substance abuse. He had drug addiction from the early age of 18, and he's been clean, I would say, from the age of about 57 is when my dad had stopped using drugs. He's also overweight. That's a symbol for obesity. And here's my mom, Denise Lonnette McPherson, who was born July 10th, 1957. And my mom passed in October 14, 2010. So we recently remembered the 10-year anniversary of my mom's death was in October. But my mom had a lot of health issues. She passed away in her sleep from a heart attack. So we have a history of heart disease from my mom. And you see a whole bunch of symbols: obesity, high blood pressure, heart disease. My mother also had a miscarriage. She miscarried twins before she had me. And she is also vitamin D deficient as well. And then my mom's siblings, her older brother, Zachary Mayfield, who was born November 7, 1953, who also suffered with drug addiction, who passed and is deceased. Was not able to get the exact date of when my uncle passed, but he was the oldest. And my mother's siblings, her sister, Rochelle Mayfield, who's still living, who also deals with high blood pressure, and my mother's other sister, LaShawn Mayfield, who also has high blood pressure, and a smoker, obesity, and my Uncle Andre, who also has high blood pressure. And my mom's mom, my maternal grandmother, Hattie, who you could see also the high blood pressure, anxiety, vitamin D deficient. She also had a miscarriage as well. Anxiety disorder, and my grandmother is also deceased. And my mother's father, Lonnie Mayfield, who I don't have his exact date of birth, but he passed away in 1962 from car accident, which the two purple dashes right there show and depict. And then we go over to my dad, and his parents, my dad's parents, Gertrude Proctor, who was born November 5th, 1919, and she died in a car accident 4/23/1981. And in that car accident was her oldest son. We called him Uncle Ginger, but his name was Clifford J. Gray, who was born in 1931 and passed in 1981 in a car accident with my grandmother, which was a significant trauma for my dad and his siblings, to lose their mom and to lose their brother in a car accident. So underneath of my dad, I had my father's next to oldest brother, which is Uncle Arnold Henry, who was born in 1948. Sorry, I didn't put the year he passed. He actually passed earlier this year, 2020. This uncle was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And he passed away in his sleep of a heart attack. And under my Uncle Arnold, I had my Aunt Yvonne, who was a smoker and who was also overweight and has high blood pressure. And then next to my Aunt Yvonne, we have William Henry, my father's other brother. And then the two younger brothers of my dad is Uncle Keith McPherson and Kevin McPherson, and they are twins. And Uncle Kevin has diabetes. I'm sorry, Uncle Keith has diabetes and high blood pressure. And the rest of my dad's siblings are still alive. Sorry. Oops. Genogram falling down. And then we go back down to my mom's side of the family. So my mom's parents, my mom's father actually died in a car accident as well. And in his car accident, it was a hit and run, which was devastating to my grandmother. They weren't married, but they were in a committed relationship. And that really caused a trauma for my family, my grandmother. And that's when she actually started hoarding. And here's the rest of my genogram. Sorry, I'm trying to show all of it, so because I'm kind of running out of time here. But there's James Henry, who is the father of my paternal grandfather, Della Hobbs, John Cromartie, Alec MacArthur, Jack Cox. So some of the patterns in history is hypertension, which runs rather rapid in my family. because culturally we celebrate all the holidays and birthday parties, and we usually have a lot of food. And the anxiety, I feel culturally, being descendants of slave, that generation of, anxiety and PTSD transfers from generation to generation, especially with today's political climate, and people of color still fighting for justice. So we are constantly, people of color are constantly, under oppression and systematic oppression. And those are some of the contributing factors to our stressors. And, as Black people, we have to educate our young people about how to, act in the presence of police officers. So this is my genogram, and this is my family. Thank you for watching, all those who could watch. And I hope you found some of the information that I put on my family tree interesting. Thank you.